We have locations throughout the central North Island where we place our beehives. The main areas where we have our beehives are in Turangi, south of Lake Taupo, and in a big valley area called Retaruki. The Manuka trees grow in many different regions throughout New Zealand, predominantly in the North Island. They grow in the far north, they grow in the Coromandel and the east coast, but we go to the areas in the central North Island, down the Retaruki Valley, where it takes us around about 3.5 hours one way to drive from Cambridge to Retaruki to harvest the Manuka honey. When we go down the Retaruki Valley, we have a central point, and as it's at the bottom of the valley, there are other valleys inland from that area, but they're so remote and the access is extremely limited. We actually fly our beehives on pallets underneath a helicopter, and we fly them into these remote areas, place the beehives in clearings, let them go with a helicopter, and they land quietly and stay there for 3 or 4 weeks, and then we will go back with the helicopter, pick them up, hive bees and everything all together and the honey, and bring them back to a central location to our trucks, and then we will load the honey onto the trucks and take them home to our factory in Cambridge. In the Manuka tree, the bees go straight to the flower, and that's the important part of how we do our beekeeping process when we do Manuka honey. What we do is we go into the locations, we check to see how the Manuka is flowering, and once there's about 5 to 10% of flowers open on the trees, we bring the beehives into that location. A big part of beekeeping is learning to drive a truck, and learning to drive a truck at night. So we load all the beehives on the trucks at night, take them into these remote locations, take the beehives off and put them in the paddock, and then the next morning they wake up, they're in a new place, they come out and they're very smart, they do a big orientation dance and orientate and work out where they are, and they go and seek the closest, most accessible flower. Now in that case it would be the Manuka tree. The Manuka flowers for about 3 to 4 weeks, and the bees will work that flower and go and collect the nectar. What they do is they have a long tongue that they probe down into the flower. They suck the nectar up into their honey stomach. Bees are really smart. They have 2 stomachs, one for them and one for the honey. So when they come back to the beehive, they deliver that honey to a worker bee that is just inside the doorway of their beehive. They give the honey or the nectar to that bee. They then turn around and go back out into the field and get some more honey. Now in their lifetime, a bee will collect only 1 teaspoon of honey. So it's a lot of work and a lot of travelling and a lot of flying for 1 teaspoon that we smear on our toast.